guys, the Geek again. Another Informers Fridays. Today we got a big one. We've got the Combiner Wars Protectobot set of Defensor. So we've got all 5 or 6, depending on who you're talking to, pieces to make him. We've got, let's see, Streetwise, First Aid, Rook, who is a new character. Don't want to get into it. Blades, Hotspot, and then we have Groove laying around here somewhere, but we'll get it to him when we get to him. First we're going to take a look at them in vehicle form, so let's just go and do that. Oh, and I want to point out, we're going to do them all in one. We're not going to look at each individual character one at a time, because that would just take way too long, and I don't have the patience for that. We might do that with Groove, but the other ones I don't have patience. So, let's just get right to that. Okay guys, so here they are. We've got Blades, the helicopter, Rook. I think he's some kind of medic tank. I don't understand the logistics of this character at all. And then we've got Streetwise, we've got First Aid, we've got Hotspot, and again, I have Groove, but we're gonna get into him later. I love these guys' vehicles. Every one of those is just awesome. The only problem I do have with them is most of them have these little pieces which become more usable in the combined figure, but when they're in robot or vehicle mode, at least, they seem pretty much useless, and they're very bulky. There's nowhere to put them, with the exception maybe, is this one the exceptions? Yep, this one's supposed to go on top of him like this. I don't know why I didn't catch that in time. Give me 1 second, sorry. There. Okay, got it. There, that looks better for First Aid, right? Okay. So, here they are in their vehicle mode. I'm loving these figures, I really do. And the best thing about figures today is the aspect of the Build-A-Figure idea. Now, while toy lines like Marvel Legends and the DC figures and stuff like that have pulled the Build-A-Figure aspect just to sell figures, the good thing about Transformers is not only do they do it in a very, very positive way, but they invented the Build-A-Figure. Because these figures aren't just the characters, they are the piece of the Build-A-Figure. And if this is your first foray into Transformers, we're going to explain how that works. But first, let's get these guys into robot mode and we'll move on from there. Okay guys, here we are in robot mode. We've got Blades, Rook, Hotspot, First Aid, and Streetwise. I'm liking these figures, but the problem I'm having with them so far is just that it's one thing to be a challenging Transformer because you don't know what you're supposed to do and you need the instructions. It's another thing to make the transformation piece so hard to move you're afraid you're going to break it if you pull too hard. That makes it less fun and less enjoyable to own a Transformer. So some of these figures, mostly First Aid and Hotspot, these two, this one and that one, they have stiff joints that make it hard to shift them from one mode to the other, and it's scary. You're afraid you're going to break them. But I'm loving these guys so far, so let's go all the way. Well, before we do that, last thing again is we have nowhere to put these pieces, which you might see behind the little black pieces that are behind them. Those obviously go for when you have them in the one big robot, which we will see in a minute. But when he's not in big giant robot mode, we have nothing to do with him. And that's always something I like about Transformers, is when they have a place to put the weapons. Now, they're individual in robot mode weapons all have a place to go when they're in vehicle mode, but the big Combiner War pieces do not, and that's really, really frustrating. But let's put them all together into one big giant guy and see what we can do with that. Okay guys, this is Defensor, if you can tell, or not, I don't know. We've got guys whose names I can't remember. We've got Streetwise, Hotspot, First Aid, Rook, and Blades all on here. Now, the cool thing about these Combiner Wars figures is there is an assumed spot for each limb, but they're built to be interchangeable, so you can put any arm or leg wherever you want. You can switch an arm with a leg or whatever. And that's something I like, because like if you don't like the way they've assumed you're gonna set it up, you can just switch it around. Like the images I've seen, the Rook and Streetwise are supposed to be on each other's spots, and well, this is as close as I could get it to the old G1 version, but we're gonna try to get it even closer because we have a sixth figure, which is Groove, and we still have him in the box. I haven't even opened him yet, and I have yet to be able to find an official place to put him. I think if you asked Hasbro.com or whoever's in charge of that, he's supposed to be a chess piece, because they did something like that with Superion or Menasor. I think it was Menasor, and I've been seeing some others that are kind of like that, but we're gonna find out if we can put him on the leg piece like he was in the original G1 character. So we're going to try to do that now. Okay guys, here's Groove in vehicle mode, and we're just doing this really quickly with him. Nice little motorcycle. I actually like this figure a lot more than I thought I would. And we're going to transform him into robot mode, so let's go do that now. Okay, here he is in robot mode. Not as cool as he was in vehicle mode. These shoulders are really loose pieces. You can just, oh wow, look at that. That's kind of sucks. And he's kind of hard to stand. He stands really awkwardly. And maybe I just have his hips don't swivel, so that's him in robot mode. So that's it. We are going to show you now how the toy company expects you to put him on Defensor, and then from there we'll see what happens. Okay guys, well, Hasbro has decided that Groove is going to be our chess piece here, but that's not where he was in the original G1 toy line, so we're going to try to find a way to get this guy to fit here. So let's see if we can do that. Okay guys, that's it for me today. So, a few quick things before I take off today. You can find much more fun stuff about toys, video games, Transformers, comic books, all sorts of that fun stuff at the Pop Culture Network. If you want to talk to myself or Dirt on Twitter, you can find Dirt at PCN_Dirt, or you can find me at OneGeekOfMany. You can call the Pop Culture Network 24-hour hotline at 1-217-953-4025. You can talk to other geeks and nerds like myself. I don't want to say like yourself, because maybe you don't see yourself that way, at jointheforums.com. And if you want to see more of my stuff, I do a lot of stuff on anime, cartoons, Transformers, other action figures, other comic books, all sorts of fun stuff like that. You can find me at The Geek Reviews on YouTube. So it's probably youtube.com /The Geek Reviews. So that's it for me. And for the Pop Culture Network, this is The Geek saying, good journey.